Sagittarius.
Hello Sagittarius, this is your forecast for April 2014, and well, changes are upon you, and more are coming in here this month. There's a lot of action taking place, a big shift of routine. Now in March there was a lot to do with where you lived, how you lived, family members, communication within the home, settling things in the home, and also pretty much communication as far as just loving to talk. I see there was a lot of chat and sharing here, but we're shifting here now, and especially because we have some major players facing off on each other, and you know the issues that you've been working with here over a long time, Sagittarius. That they are now cresting again. We had it late last autumn, we had it New Year, and here we are, and it's coming up again. So the major changes for you here this month, it's going to be in your financial sector, and I think this is some great news for so many of you Sagittarians. It's going to affect the way you make your income, what money, what income streams are coming in. It's going to be affecting your love and relationship life, your creativity and projects perhaps, and then also money that you have shared with others. That's Jupiter up there in the 8th house. So let's put this all together, and you'll see how this is going to be building little by little throughout the entire month. So, okay, let's just start here. Top of the month, April 1st. You have the Sun squaring off with Jupiter. So here we have a challenge. It's you, the essence of who you are. That's the Sun in the area of creative projects. Okay, so you're going to feel quite creative. And you're excited because the challenge now is money that you now have with others. Okay, that 8th house where Jupiter now is wanting to expand. It's been dried up here the last 4 to 5 months when it was retrograding. But see, now it's moving forward, picking up speed here in April. So you'll start seeing that there's more money coming in that you can bring to the pot on the shared resource end. And you'll just see also how maybe financial institutions, it could be royalties, commissions, and so forth, investments. This too now will start picking up speed and expanding. And as that expands, it's going to expand your ability to be more creative now. And for you, you know, that's a big thing. Many of you Sagittarians love the freedom of self-expression. And here we have the Sun and Uranus, quite the unexpected news coming in on April 2nd. Okay, so here on the 1st, here you're up against this new challenge. You're feeling it right here. And then the unexpected news that can actually shift things. And where's that shift, this unexpectedness coming from? It's coming from your 5th house. Okay, so some project right now, I think, is really going to fling open the door. It's going to allow new airflow to come in here, and of course that will inspire you as well. Now all of this is taking place here in the sign of Aries, and Aries is the entrepreneur. Okay, so this is really going to move and shake the very foundation that you have, because it looks like over time you've had this feeling of entrepreneurship, things that you would love to do. If you could do them, you would have already done them, right? So you've been building all your dreams. And it looked pretty good there, late summer coming into early autumn, and then suddenly it kind of withdrew. But here we go again. We're moving forward. So a very nice, pleasant communication. Maybe it's an interview, or maybe it's talking to some higher ups, which is Saturn. Saturn is what's working behind the scenes for you. So that could be an individual, it could be a company, working behind the scenes, wanting to put something in place. But see, Saturn is also your own inner mastery, your own inner, not just guidance, but your own inner authority. So those things that you have been holding back from others, the outer world, they may not have known what structure you're working upon, but only you do. And it's not going to be that long before the world is going to come to see what it is you've been working on for many years. We're talking, we can definitely be going back at least the last 7 years, but I'd like to go back 14 years. So by the end of this year, when you break into 2015, the world will see a completely new you. Okay? So that will be the big harvest. But as we're talking here now, well, on the 3rd, as you're having this good communication with somebody in authority, I'm also seeing how now you're taking a leap of faith. It's like you're challenging yourself. And it might be that inner question. It's like, okay, so what is this going to do? All right? You know it has to do with your financial situation, because we just spoke about Jupiter in your 8th house of joint resources, the money you have with others. But Pluto is here, right opposite, in the 2nd house for your own income, money. And Pluto here, you will see the extremes. It's alpha omega, right? And some of you might have gone through a difficult time financially. That's what Pluto does through the first half of its journey through a house. It will strip down to the bare bottom, and we feel that we lose control and influence on it. But see, what Pluto's really doing is then going to transform, so you can carry the weight of big money, and you can come to really start seeing big money. I'm not saying all at once here in this month of April, no, but we're at a turning point as these influences that you'll be hearing me express later on in the month. The intensity, the impact of April can really start turning a corner. We still have one more go at some of these squares and oppositions. We're 31 through, so you will see how this one is definitely going to be very, very powerful, because they're coming back to back with only 2 or 3 days between. But let's go back here. April 5th, okay, April 5th, the Venus is going to move into Pisces. And Venus is very romantic in itself, but you couple that with the Piscean energy, which is ruled by Neptune. Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. So then we get this not just feeling of love, what we get this cosmic love, okay? This endless love. So you're probably going to feel very stimulated here, and the area it's going to be touching for you is the 4th house. So not only is it going to be a romantic month, spent more time at home with your loved one, but it also rules the arts, so you might feel more artistic. You might see that the time that you can take off, maybe to some hobbies here, you can stimulate or maybe even beautify, rearrange your home so it's more Neptunian, it's more Venetian. Then we have Mercury, which rules your thoughts. Your linear analytical mind is moving out of Pisces, where it has been in the home. I see there's been a lot of chat going on at home or with family members. Now Mercury is going to start kicking into action. So you might have had some dream time while Mercury was in Pisces, thinking about concepts, thinking perhaps about some projects you'd like to do, okay? Great insights here in March. But here when we kick into April 7th, well, that's your Arian placement. Aries is the entrepreneur. It's action, Mars driven. And so when Mercury hits into this 5th house of creativity, well, then you will see just how much you're going to dive in to actually start developing some of these projects of yours. Not necessarily, as far as career. Career is one thing. Money, streams, income from career is another thing. But these are the things that you yourself can put into action. And maybe, yes, you could come to make money from some of these creative projects of yours as well. On the 8th, major decision, the Sun and Mars, they're kind of opposed to one another. This is more Mars now being in the area of your 11th house for social networks. There might be some friends out there or groups and organizations that you might cooperate with, okay? The Sun is you here in the 5th house, so you might hold a fantastic idea, creative idea, and then you might be presenting it to somebody out there in a group. They might just take it and run with it, which is good. That can bring things up and running for you. Just make sure that whatever collaboration you have will also secure you. Then we have on the 12th a very romantic evening, the best one of the month. This is when Venus and Neptune do the dance. It's located in the area of home for you. So, you know, you might just have a beautiful day at home on this day. Make the most out of it. Then we have the 14th through the 20th. This is like the runner-up, okay? You're going to start feeling things just increasing throughout this week, and pay attention to it, monitor yourself, get a good perspective on what's going on, what choices, where your mind is going, what questions you're asking yourself. Why? Because once we hit the 20th, then the outer circumstances are going to kick in. So it's like the universe is giving you a little head start on what is just to come for the most probably intense week of the year. Mercury is going to ask you, are you ready? Can you do this? Do you want to do this? And what are we talking about? We're talking about those things that you've been working towards in 2013, straight through winter, you know, and you were challenged really difficultly here upon New Year. But now you're going to break through. So we're looking at actually transforming your life in the areas of your financial situation and your creative situation. So all through 14th to the 20th, you might have, I won't like to call it second thoughts, because then it sounds like you're doubting. You're not doubting. You're excited. You're really excited to the point where you're saying, oh my God, can I do this? You know, and is this really what I want? Because now it looks like the universe might just be on the verge to give it to you, Sagittarius, right? So you've been praying for a lot of these things coming, and here they come. And yes, you do have to be ready, and yes, you might have to be able to take a leap of faith. At this time, we have the new moon coming up, or the full moon, I'm sorry, on the 15th, which will bring to you a lot of these things now that you might feel it like a harvest of these earlier months, okay? Suddenly now something's going to drop into your lap, and it's dropping into your lap here on the full moon just as you are questioning, where can I go from here? How can I expand? What is this going to do for me? Suddenly now you're seeing all of these possibilities, opportunities for money-making ideas. Second house, 8th house, 5th house, creativity, and how maybe you can be presenting this out to the groups that might be interested as future customers for you. So on the 16th, Mercury is also going to challenge you, opposition to Mars. We have on the 18th, you will know if you've had any doubts earlier, 14th to the 18th. Well, Venus is going to come in and secure you and say, you know what? This isn't just hopes and dreams no more. This is what we can do for you. Here's the money. Show us, you know, show us the project, okay? And this Venus here is coming from Pisces. It's coming from the 4th house, within the foundation of yourself and what you've worked for. So this is trust, and money is going to be coming into the family core. And yes, that will expand. Royalties, commissions, investments, anything within banking or shared accounts. And it's also going to be supporting here from the 2nd house of Pluto, that is going to transform money and income, which once again, actually now will be coming, you'll be pouring income into the foundation, where you live, how you live. It's going to feel more secure, more grounded. You might expand, you might want to beautify. Some of you might think, wow, this contract is so good, I can actually go now and purchase a new home. That's how good it could be when Pluto and Jupiter are together. Yes, they're going to have this expansion, this opposition on the 20th. So let's talk about the 20th, okay? But you're going to have such good news on the 18th, and you might be holding your breath saying, can I believe this? You know, because I think you might have believed a few times earlier, but here after the 20th, this very same Jupiter is going to square off on Uranus, meaning breaking away so that you can liberate and free yourself, so you can be able to finally do your creative projects. And then Jupiter is going to be opposing Pluto directly. So this is that high point of the Alpha Omega. Everything that you worked for here, everything you worked for there, Uranus smack in the middle of this. It's like somebody putting the key in the lock. It's somebody like cutting the chain with a bolt off your leg, you know, so that you're free. suddenly this liberation is so fantastic. I'm so excited for you, Sagittarians, because you've been patient, and you've really been pushing to get where you want to go. Mars is going to square off on Jupiter on that very same day. Mars in your sign has to do with groups, so you might just feel too that you're going to be able to finalize something that's been a growing, perhaps, conflict for you here on this day too, which is now on the 22nd, and then on the 23rd, Mars is going to be opposing Uranus. So it's squaring Jupiter, money you have jointly with others in a group, perhaps, and then Mars opposing Uranus, which is your creative projects. So a huge release, huge release. And then finally, the last big aspect of the month is going to be Mars here squaring off on Pluto. Mars is your drive, it's your goal, your ambitions, where you're wanting to head. And Mars here in this area of the 11th house, well, you're wanting to actually now be able to be free from whatever organization or group that's been having a hold on you, holding you back, and where you've had to follow up or follow through perhaps more on their directions, okay? Maybe you've had to surrender under something there for them, but now Mars can finally say, okay, I'm done. I'm free. Now I'm on my own. Now I can start moving forward with this. However, though, this Mars is going to square off on Pluto again. Why? Because Mars is currently retrograde, and it's going to be moving backwards. So when it turns direct, it's going to come and it's going to square Pluto again. But at that time, which is not quite yet, it's going to be retrograde to May 20th. And then it's going to take time to move forward until it reaches that very same degree where that square is going to come. So we're probably looking, without me having the date here right now, we're probably looking at sometime there in June, I would believe. And that's when you're going to be able to tell yourself that, yes, you're good. You're good to go. Good to go. So anyway, big month, especially because Mars and Saturn are retrograde. Mars until May 20th and Saturn until July 20th. So you're not really having the greatest support here from it, but it's already within you, okay? So you're going to have to, excuse me, go a little deeper and access that what you already know how. You've already worked these energies in this special situation. This isn't a lot of things happening all at once from all different angles, Sagittarius. This is, I feel, for you, something now breaking through to the core of an issue or a situation that's been a long time coming. So you know what I'm talking about. So you already have, the guts and the know-how, and Saturn, your own inner mastery. Saturn has shown you throughout this last, few months and few years, actually, few years. So you're going to be able to know exactly where you're at and what you want from it. So listen, hey, before I let you go, let me just talk about the new moon coming in on the 29th. On the 29th. It's going to be in your 6th house for health, and so you will see that this is the time to put down your intentions for not just the coming month, but for the entire year. And it looks like there's this spurt of energy on the 29th where you're feeling so good because now all of this intensity is behind you. You have a new start. You're feeling great. And now it's more like, okay, now you're promising yourself to catch up on your physical body. And so I see you looking into diets, maybe, going to the gym, putting down new day-to-day routines that can be healthy for you. Great, great time. You won't have this chance to have a new moon intention before next year at the same time. So, make sure that you're focused to do this. All it takes is just a promise to yourself on this day. That will help you, to remind yourself throughout the rest of the year. So, hey, listen, Sagittarius, I hope this gave you some insight here this month, and next month is going to be pretty exciting now that you have cut to the core so we can see what May is going to give you. So make sure to subscribe if you already haven't, and hit like while you're at it, and make sure to listen to your moon and rising sign before you leave, just so you can get an insight to see where the intensity of these planets are going to affect the other houses of your moon chart and your rising sign chart, because it is definitely going to be affecting those areas as well. And just before I leave, you might want to come back mid-month at some point just to re-listen to this, because there's so many days with so many aspects, and they're all very, very important here this month. And I know a lot of you listen to April's forecast in March, so once you come to April, you might have forgot all about it. So come back there, I'd say around mid-April, re-listen again, and then you'll be prepared for what's coming. Okay? So have a good one. See you next month. Bye now.
Do you follow Karen's daily scopes yet? If not, and wonder what they hold, click the sample link below and listen to both the Astro scope and Tarot scope, and get a feel for what you can expect in your love, career, and financial outlook for today.